DMAIC is a widely utilized methodology that is the foundation of Lean Six Sigma. Now, Lean Six Sigma is a team-oriented management technique that aims to eliminate waste like physical resources, time, efforts, and defects in order to increase performance. The appropriate application of DMAIC has benefited businesses in several ways, including lowering the cost, improving quality, increasing revenue, and enhancing the overall company's performance and efficiency. So, in today's session, we will discuss in detail about DMAIC methodology. Hey guys, this is Eric from Invensis, and I welcome you to our YouTube channel. Before we get started, I would like to address the agenda for today's session. We will start our session with an introduction to what DMAIC methodology is. Next, we will understand the phases in DMAIC methodology and the most frequently used tools in these phases. Moving on, we will discuss some benefits of DMAIC methodology and conclude the session with the differences between DMAIC and DMADV and the different industries where DMAIC methodology is used. I hope the agenda was clear. Before we start with our session, if you like this video, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, to learn more about Lean Six Sigma and quality management, check out Invensis Learning's Project Management Certification Training on Lean Six Sigma and Quality Management. All of the necessary information is given in the description box. So now, we will start our session by understanding what DMAIC methodology is. DMAIC is a data-driven problem-solving method for identifying and addressing inefficiencies in a process, improving its outputs, and making these improvements more predictable. The DMAIC methodology was founded by statistician Walter A. Shewhart and was created at Bell Laboratories in the 1930s and gets its roots from the PDSA, plan, do, study, act, cycle. It is a 5-phase approach for enhancing various organizational processes, including software development, manufacturing, and many others. While this method is often linked with Six Sigma, it may also be used to lean and other process improvement strategies. The acronym DMAIC stands for Define, Measure, Analyze, Improve, Control. Now, the name itself gives out the 5 stages of this data-driven methodology. Now, let us talk about them one by one in detail. First phase is define. In this first step, the team must clearly define the issues and the action plan necessary to attain the desired results in this initial step toward process improvement. The goal of this phase of DMAIC is to define the problem statement and develop a strategy for improvement. This phase is all about defining the issue and the improvement activities objectives. The most essential objectives are obtained from the clients because customer satisfaction is the primary objective of Lean Six Sigma. As a result, project managers must identify the issue to be addressed. To do so, one must first understand the problems as a whole and know the preferences of the customers. Then they will need to define a problem statement for this and check if the issue reported is relevant by looking at the data available. As a result, they will be able to prioritize the issue into priorities, recognize the areas where it will influence and know the available resources. Once they figure out the problem statement and then outline the work process, they can start working on the project. The following stages ensure that the process is moving in the right direction. Next, the most commonly used DMAIC tools in the define phase is Project Charter. The Project Charter is the initial step in every Six Sigma project and one of the most crucial components. The document includes a summary of the project and serves as a contract between management and the Six Sigma team for the project's projected outcome. Teams use the charter to define the process issue being addressed, the reason for doing so, and what success looks like for those working on it. It can also be used to clarify what has not been discussed. This was about the define phase. Now, let us move on to our next phase and talk about the measure phase. The goal of this phase is to gather data from the process and determine the current quality level. In this stage, the team measures the existing system by defining valid and reliable metrics which will in turn help in tracking progress toward the goal. They must measure and monitor the project's development and performance as soon as one begins working on it. They must keep a close eye on the project and write down the current stage for the first assessment and use it as a baseline for the subsequent evaluations. It will serve as a benchmark against which the project's progress will be measured. They may use this phase to figure out a means to collect as much measurable data as possible, since it will be needed to analyze the core cause of the problems and their consequences. Constant updates from the team will be beneficial in this regard. One thing to keep in mind when gathering data is the source. Data must be accurate and come from a reputable source. To make them more effective, they may make regular updates to the data in the workflow tools, such as a project charter. Next, the most commonly used DMAIC tools in the measure phase are histogram. It is a type of bar chart that visualizes both attribute and variable data of a product or process and helps users show the different distribution of data and amount of variation within a process. So, it should be designed properly to easily utilize and understand those working in the operation process. Histograms can show the distribution of a process that is going smoothly over time. So, any fluctuation in that process can be immediately observed when histograms are produced on a regular basis. This is a significant benefit for businesses since it allows them to identify and address process variance immediately. Next is Pareto chart. A Pareto chart is a combination of a bar and line table that visually summarizes a set of data. The information might be related to things like cost, time, and mistakes. A Pareto chart may be used to measure the cumulative impact of the defects. Now, the cumulative impact is the result of a defect occurring over a long time. The Pareto chart can also assist and offer a clearer understanding of the problems that must be addressed first, which helps to deliberate and arrange for the right and necessary procedures or actions to be performed in the event of a fault. This was about the measure phase. Now, let us move on to our next phase and talk about the analyze phase. The major goal of this step is to locate the source of the issue. Then, one may utilize the information gathered in the previous phases to figure out what's causing it. The team manager keeps a close eye on the entire process along with the data. It is critical to assess the progress. So for this, make a list of the difficulties and concerns that arise from the data and observations. The team may contribute by expressing their perspectives and adding value to the process. Because Lean Six Sigma focuses on removing waste from processes, the analysis includes analyzing the procedure in terms of time. How efficiently project participants use their time? Are there any delays as a result of too extended breaks? Is there any factor that is causing the project to fall behind schedule? Next is value. Is the project on track to meet the customer's expectations? How does it provide value in terms of efficiency and product quality? Then is value stream mapping. VSM is a technique for visualizing the flow. They may use the data to map the process and pinpoint the locations where waste processes are happening. It will allow the team to make better judgments about whether or not to add or remove a process step. Next, the most commonly used DMAIC tools in the analyze phase are: first, fishbone diagram. During problem solving, each team member has a different perspective on the root cause of the problem or question. The fishbone diagram collects all items and thoughts, then uses brainstorming techniques to analyze and identify the most powerful underlying cause for that problem. It presents the possible causes using a graphic format. The core problem is placed at the head of the fish, then the different processes and sub-processes that may be responsible for the problem are noted in the bones of the fish. Next tool is 5 Whys. This is a very interesting tool in the analysis phase. So to find the main cause of an issue, they should constantly ask the question why. The actual cause of one problem will often lead to a new question. Despite the name 5 Whys, one may discover that they need to ask the question fewer or more times than 5 times before they uncover the issue that is causing the problem. This was about the analyze phase. Now, let us move on to our next phase and talk about the improve phase. After gathering the data and determining the root of the problem, the team member must devise a plan to address it. Using the data and the analysis report, the team at this stage seeks to improve the entire process. Now, these enhancements must be introduced appropriately to get the intended benefits. As a result, they will need to put together a solid plan of action and assemble a team capable of coming up with creative answers. Proposing and choosing a solution to improve the system is the focus of this phase. This is the phase at which the team must become innovative in order to identify new methods to do things better, cheaper, or faster. The team addresses the root causes directly with an improvement based on the identified root causes. One thing to keep in mind is that solutions must be feasible. They should be simple to execute and will not significantly increase the project's expense. Other project restrictions, such as available workforce and technical assistance, must also be considered. After figuring out the solutions, it's time to put them into action, and it is required to track and measure the progress. Now, to make things simpler, develop a list of the modifications that result in a better overall procedure. Next, the most commonly used DMAIC tools in the improve phase are Countermeasures Matrix. A countermeasures matrix outlines the problems, identifies their causes, its fixes or countermeasures, and implementation priorities for an issue. Here, prioritization is determined by the team, ranking the recommended action items based on their importance or feasibility. This matrix acts as a source of information for creating an action plan. Next tool is an action plan. Most improvements will need a strategy to ensure that they are implemented appropriately and that their effectiveness can be measured. So an action plan is very important. It is a strategy that helps improve the end products. An effective action plan will include questions like: what countermeasures should be put in place? How to do them? Who will do them? When will they begin and end? How will they be measured? This was about the improve phase. Now, let us move on to our next phase and talk about the control phase. The fifth stage of the DMAIC technique is control, and it assures that the changes produced will last. It must be ensured that the problems do not occur again and the entire process adheres to the Lean Six Sigma principles. Any deviations should be recorded and brought to the attention of the team. The team implements the solution and gives the ownership of the new, enhanced process to the responsible owner. They create a control strategy to monitor the ongoing performance and employ statistical methods to monitor the new process's stability. The team members can develop a monitoring algorithm that allows them to choose the various levels at which the process will function. They may also strategize the action plan to ensure that the gains are evident at these stages. They may also urge team members to keep the data up to date and add the progress at each level. This record is useful during the control phase. This record may be used to identify any flaws in your DMAIC implementation. Next, the most commonly used DMAIC tools in the control phase is Control Chart. Control charts help identify causes for variation in the new process, as well as the identification of corrective measures that must be taken before there are too many errors. This helps eliminate the requirement for product rework or additional product costs to repair an offering. So this was about the 5 phases of DMAIC methodology and the frequently used tools in these phases. Initially, DMAIC was known as a method for reducing variation, but now the application of DMAIC can be considered a well-known mechanism for problem solving and process improvement. Before moving forward, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, do subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell, never to miss an update from the Invensis Learning channel. Also, to learn more about Lean Six Sigma and quality management, check out Invensis Learning's certification training on Lean Six Sigma and quality management. All of the necessary information is given in the description box. Now, let us move on and talk about some of the benefits of the DMAIC methodology. DMAIC methodology is used to bring structure, help in problem solving, and be applied to complex processes and any type of organization. The data-driven approach helps identify the exact root causes and ensure that the applied enhancements outperform the previous strategy. It's especially useful when dealing with complicated issues that involve many job functions or departments. Talking about a few benefits of DMAIC methodology. First is structured approach. DMAIC is a systematic technique that gives a roadmap for finding solutions. This enables us to solve problems from beginning to end while producing bottom-line results. DMAIC also offers an analytical approach, allowing the use of the data gathered. This helps the business ensure accurate baselines. Next is faster cycle times. DMAIC software removes the friction from improvement, resulting in shorter improvement cycles and a quicker route to positive change. Because DMAIC improves communication, visibility, and responsibility, there is less downtime between phases in the improvement cycle. The faster each change is implemented from beginning to end, the sooner the benefits are realized, and it can move on to the next initiative. Third is better collaboration. DMAIC improves the collaboration of the entire team. One of the most difficult aspects of structured improvement is keeping everyone on the same page and informed about the cycle's progress. This is especially challenging when the team consists of individuals from several functional areas who use distinct processes, terminology, and management styles. Fourth benefit is more impact from improvement. With a knowledge repository in place, each DMAIC cycle may start with a review of what has previously worked successfully or failed. Teams get an advantage in terms of improvement by making more informed, data-driven decisions that result in more effective improvements. When DMAIC software is used, each improvement has the maximum, long-term impact. Fifth is increased productivity. Because this strategy is so structured and requires comprehensive documentation, it helps to constantly improve their problem-solving approach and efficiency constantly. DMAIC allows a business to quantify improvements and find answers to complex problems. And next is improve the overall process. Then, it's time to apply the DMAIC technique to improve the process. It aids in the identification of the problem's root cause and allows for the brainstorming of relevant solutions to the problems. The main goal of the DMAIC methodology is to improve the overall process. So, these were just some of the benefits of the DMAIC methodology. Now, sometimes people get confused between DMAIC and DMADV because they share many similarities. So, let us talk about some differences between them. Lean Six Sigma recommends an improvement process which is DMAIC. However, it can only be used to improve current processes. It is not concerned with the development of new goods, services, or processes. So, this is where DMADV comes into the picture. DMADV is a modified version for developing a new product, service or process. Now, let us see some differences between them to understand it better. First, DMAIC stands for define, measure, analyze, improve, control, and DMADV stands for define, measure, analyze, design, and verify. Next, DMAIC is concerned with improving the current process whereas DMADV is concerned with designing a new process. Next difference is that DMAIC is used to reduce and eliminate defects whereas DMADV is used to prevent defects. Finally, DMAIC is about finding specific solutions to problems whereas DMADV is a part of the solution design process. So these were just some of the differences between DMAIC and DMADV. Now, let us move on to our next topic and see how the DMAIC methodology is used in different industries. First, talking about DMAIC in IT industries. Six Sigma is a project-oriented methodology. In order to deploy Six Sigma in the industry, IT employs a set of procedures. When implementing the Six Sigma concepts to a process, multiple processes are required. As a result, employees are more productive and have a better overall experience as a result of building efficient procedures, which improves the company's profitability. Next, talking about the manufacturing industry. In the manufacturing industry, Six Sigma is extremely important. The majority of industries concentrate on creating raw materials that can be used to manufacture other products. Six Sigma will be beneficial in this area because it was created for the manufacturing industry. The major goal of applying this system in the industry is to guarantee that process faults are kept to a minimum. Next, talking about the healthcare industry. Large healthcare organizations have begun to implement industrial-level quality control methodologies. The infrastructure for measuring quality issues was the focus of early Six Sigma implementations. In healthcare systems, there are several possibilities to use Six Sigma. Using Lean and Six Sigma in healthcare can help prevent medical errors, reduce wait times, lower mortality rates, and improve patient care. So these were some of the industries where DMAIC methodology can be used. To conclude the session, I would like to say DMAIC consists of 5 successive steps that produce the greatest outcomes when completed iteratively. These stages are complementary to one another and, in some situations, iteratively operate together. When you acquire data in the measure phase, for example, you may need to evaluate and rectify it until your team can narrow down the problem's main cause. DMAIC is the foundation of the Lean Six Sigma methodology. It is something you may use to improve existing initiatives in your business. Implementing DMAIC requires a deep knowledge of Lean and Six Sigma principles. This can be achieved by getting trained in globally recognized Six Sigma and quality management certification courses from an accredited training organization. With this, we have come to an end of this video. I hope it was helpful. Comment your thoughts in the section below. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell, never to miss an update from the Invensis Learning channel. Also, check out Invensis Learning's Lean Six Sigma Quality Management Certification courses, link to which is given in the description box below. Thank you. Have a nice day.